Sarah. Hi, Maria. Thanks for joining. I'm just trying to get ready here. I'm hoping I don't run out of charge. Hi, Sarah. Good of you to join. Okay. Let me see. Can you see me? And hear me? Just let me know. Perfect, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Good morning, Michelle. Okay. I'll start in a couple minutes. How's the light? Is the light okay? Or is it too dark? If I come here, can you see me all right? Okay. Hi, Bob. Perfect, thank you. Okay. Yeah, just a couple more minutes and we'll be starting, okay? Now. Okay, let's see, I'll be right back. Let's try something. No, it's not gonna work. Okay. All right, well, just keep your fingers crossed that I have enough charged. It should be okay, I think, but... Hi, Van, you found me. That's great. Okay. Sec. Hi, Greg. Hi, Susan. Good morning. Good morning, Nadia. Thank you for joining. So we're going to start probably right about now. All right. Thank you very much for joining. So let's begin. So let's begin by establish ourselves firmly in this present time and space. Go within. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything you need can be found within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to call divine attention to the self. Imagine you're becoming one with all beings. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your mind in God alone. And in God will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Let's begin with a chant called I Am Not This Body. Call and response, verse by verse. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Repeat. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. I am not this body, this body is not me. I am not this body, this body is not me. I am not this body, this body is not me. I am not this body, this body is not me. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Repeat. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. I am not Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. I am bliss, absolute pure consciousness. I am. 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 Together, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. So let's begin the practice. Let's start off with breathing for inner healing, as always, in order to prevent the illnesses from plaguing us and to also pray for those who are sick. Bring your feet about 10 inches apart, the arms in front of the body, the wrists at the level of the shoulders. As I count to 8, you're imagining you're inhaling healing energy from the heart up to the crown, holding a breath and the attention at the crown for count to 6. On the exhale, you're imagining you're exhaling through the arms. Imagine all the impurities draining out at the same time. It's a breath. Inhale, heart to the crown, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding at the crown, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale the breath out of the arms, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Heart to the crown, breathe in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the attention, holding the breath at the crown. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, expel the sickness out of the body. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Heart to the crown. Breathe in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding the breath and the attention at the crown. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out with the exhale through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down by the sides of the body. Let's continue with the exercises. Let's start off with head rolls. It's just used to prepare the body for practice. So move in a way that's conducive to the condition of the body. Try to keep as much as possible the mind in the same temperament, always calm, never agitated or distressed. And switch the direction of rotation. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears, but just try to get the ears to touch the shoulders. Good. Now just swing your arms back and forth. Try to get the arms behind the ears. Now cross the chest, cross, squeeze tightly, throw the arms back, alternate the cross each time. One more on each side. Good, now take the arms up over the head. Throw the body down on the exhale. Breathe out through the mouth on the exhale. Breathe in through the nose. 2 more. Last one, just stay hanging down. Just allow the body to just dangle and stop shaking around. Good, and then roll your way up. Now bring the arms over the head. On the exhale, you're going to squat. Pull the arms down at the same time. You don't have to come down all the way. Come down to the level that is comfortable for you. Two more. And right back up. Good. From here, we're going to raise the left arm up. Reach up on the inhale. Exhale to the bend to the right. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale to left. Continue on your own. Two more on each side. And last one. Conclude. Bring the arms down, shake up the wrists, fling the fingers from side to side, loosen the wrists completely. Then up and down. The hands moving so fast you can't even see them, they're like a blur. Good. Allow the arms to just drop by the sides now, and then just swing from side to side. And maybe go faster and faster. And just shake it up as much as you can. Allow the arms to hit the body any which way. And then start to loosen it, slow it down. And conclude. Bring the arms over the head, interlace the fingers, press the heels, your palms up. Inhale, lift off the heels. Exhale, lower down. As you inhale, come up high. Exhale, keep the shoulders down away from the ears as you drop the heels down. Inhale, come up. Feel the navel hollowing out and lower down. Coming up again. Come down. This time hold it as you come up. Press into the roots of your toes. Don't worry if you fall. Just come right back up again. Concentrate. Push up, get nice and high. Lower the heels down. Bring the hands back to the heart. Now make your way to the top of the mat for Surya Namaskara. Close the eyes for a moment. Come into the intention of offering up the practice. Better than practice and even better than meditation is to renounce all the fruits of your actions. Do the practice as though it were a spiritual duty or divine duty to all beings. So let's move together as one with me to stay in a collective mind. Imagine moving with thousands of bodies as well. Reach the arms up over the head. Fold down over the legs. Bend your knees if you need to bring your hands flat on the ground. Then go slow first. Right foot back, lower the knee down and drop the seat right down. Raise the head. Come into high plank, body level with the ground, lower knees, chest and chin. Keep the elbows close to the body, bring the chest behind the hands a little bit, and then pull with your hands, pull your body forward into cobra. Drop the shoulders down. Roll over the toes back into downward facing dog. Now the right foot steps to the hands. If it doesn't make it there, if it's difficult, lower the back knee, bring the right hand to the right foot and assist it forward. Bring the back foot in to meet the front foot. Keep the knees bent if you need to. Bring the chest onto your thighs. Come all the way up and back. Hands back to the heart. Left side, same way. Reach the arms up over the head. Stretch the front of the body. Come down. Modify as you need to so you can bring your hands flat. Left foot back. Again, lower the seat as much as you can. Come into plank. Knees, chest, and chin down. Now propel your body forward between your arms, coming up into cobra, head back. Roll over the toes, back into downward facing dog. Push against the floor with your hands. Left foot steps forward. Modify as you need to by dropping the back knee. Feet together, Uttanasana. Body against the legs, head down. Come all the way up to standing. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms. Lengthen the front of the body. Fold down. Lengthen the spine. Head close to the ground. Right foot back into a lunge. Into the plank. Try to move with mindfulness and reverence and grace. Lower the chest. Glide forward into the cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back. Right foot now steps to the hands. Quietly land it. Land it as though you're trying to make a footfall as quiet as possible. Uttanasana. Come all the way up. Return home. Again, reach the arms up. Go down gracefully. Try to make every movement an expression of grace and surrender and humility into the plank. Down we go. Glide forward. All the while, the mind remains quiet. Imagine you're the witness watching the body moving. The left foot now steps forward. Right foot joins. Bow to the legs. Come all the way up. Return home. Pranamasana. Again. Go down. Lose yourself in the sensations. Right foot leads into the lunge. Into the plank. And down we go. Slide forward. Into the cobra. All the transitions nice and smooth. Take the seat up and back. Then the right foot steps into the lunge. Left foot follows. Bow to the legs again. Come all the way up. Return home. Imagine you're offering everything up, the best of the best you can. And imagine all the benefits being transmitted to all beings everywhere. Left foot back. Into the plank. Down we go. You can bring the seat all the way back behind the heels if you like. And from there, start the ascent into cobra. Glide down along the mat and right up. Over the toes, downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward between the hands. Right foot joins. Come up. Back home. Another cycle, reach up. go down. Watch the body moving. Keep being the witness to all the bodily actions, to all the mental activity, and to all the emotions, for you're none of these, just witnessing all of us. You're just a seer. Take this seat up and back. Right foot steps, left foot follows. Come up, back home. Same thing, left side. If the body's starting to get warmer, explore your range of motion a little bit more. Into the plank, down we go, and rise. Retreat. Left foot steps, right foot. Come all the way up. Hands back to heart center. One more cycle on your own, right side then left. If you get lost, just keep looking at the video. Imagine moving in time with all beings, everybody the same collective mind, to transmit peace and love to all beings, especially those who cannot practice, who are suffering and who are in pain. Left side to complete the cycle. Move with great power, but with gracefulness as well. Just watch the body moving in your mind, and the body will, chances are, will just do exactly what you see in your mind. Bring it back home. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, let go of all expectations and all attachments to the results. Release the arms, hinge forward, bend the knees. You can bring your chest right onto your thighs. Interlace the fingers, pull the hands back as much as you can at the same time. Pull the chest forward towards the knees, and then as you exhale, use the body to push the legs back, send the head down towards the ground. Now keep your body against the legs, so if you need to keep your knees bent, that's okay. Just imagine the chest trying to go further and further beyond the knees, and the head eventually resting on your feet. If you have good flexibility in the shoulders, bring your arms over the head towards the ground in front of the head. Lose yourself in the sensations. Bring the hands back down onto the back, hands in front of the feet, step back into plank, lower down onto the belly. Inhale, come up halfway. Slide your elbows forward so they're underneath the shoulders, and root down through the forearms and the lower body. So feel very heavy in the hips and the lower and the legs. Pull the chest forward, shoulders back, and really press the shoulders down at the same time. Now be very still like a sphinx, the statue made of stone. Bring the right foot up, take hold of the foot, and press down on the top of the foot, just alongside the hip. If you want, you can spin your hand around on top of the foot so that your fingers are closing up on the finger. The fingers are closing onto the toes. You might be able to get more leverage to get the foot down. If you want, push into your left hand, raise the elbow up, and keep sending the knee back, the right knee, so that the thigh stays long, and just try to get the foot down further forward to the ground. Move according to your condition. Ensure that you pay attention to the signals that the body's sending you, especially if you have limitations. Release that foot, try it on the other side. Left foot comes up, press the hand into the foot, spin it around if you like the same way, and if you want to get the extra power, just raise the elbow up the mat and then send the left knee back. Now release. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, bend the toes under, and then push against the floor so you can get your chest behind the hands. And from here, pull the body forward, drag your hips forward between the hands, come up into Cobra. Take the head back towards the seat. Think about lengthening the whole front of the body from the toes all the way to the top of the head, and try to keep your legs together like the tail of a snake. Stay lower if you need to, modify according to your conditions. Roll over the toes back into downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, walk your hands one hand's length distance forward. Push against the floor. Bring the seat back as you exhale. Just soften the line in the back. Try to imagine trying to get your chest to come right down to the ground. If you're flexible, just keep on dropping your head close to the ground. Some of you might be able to touch your head on the ground, and go ahead if you can. Try to get your underarms close to the ground as well. Stretch out the arms. Then from here, lift the head if it was on the ground. Step the left foot forward to the hands. Back knee down, flatten out the toes. Inhale, come upright. Exhale, sit all the way forward so that you're close to the front heel. Hands come around, just the bottom of the rib cage, and the thumbs find one another at the spine. Drag the hands down onto the seat. Use the heels of your palms to scoop the tail under at the same time. Push up with the fingertips so you're creating space in the lower back. If you like, you can drop your head back. Continue to stretch the front of the body. Good. As you exhale, keep dropping your seat forward, curl the tail under. Keep lifting up the heart away from the hips. Inhale, use fingers to press the body back upright. Press into the front knee, come into a more straight position. Hips over, shoulders over the hips, turn to the right. Arms out to the side, Sukha Virabhadrasana. Let's just try to find your gaze over the fingertips. Be steady in your gaze. Be firm and strong like the warrior. And from here, left hand comes down, the right arm comes up. Keep the shoulder against the knee. Pull the right arm back. Those of you who know the bind, go ahead. Just slide your shoulder in a little bit. For those who need a demonstration, I'll do it this way so you can see a little bit better. So pull your body in so you can get your body down low, and the left arm comes, most of your arm comes underneath the leg. Then from here, you take the right hand, you find the left hand, join them together, pull them in a finger lock, and then take the right shoulder back. You want to have your chest square to the long edge of the mat. Those who want to go into Paschal Konasana, lean more into the front foot so you can take the weight in the front foot, bend the toes under, lift the knee up off the ground, slide the foot back out, continue to press the body against the inner leg. Keep your seat on the same line as the hip, as the knee. Release the pose. Come out of the bind if you have the bind. Hands on the inside of the foot, right knee down. Inhale, come upright. Into a twist. The right arm up, and then you go to the outside of the left knee. Press the knee towards the right foot, in the same orientation as the knee. Elbow to the outside of the knee. And then push left hand into the right. Try to get your body higher than the thigh, and then start to pull the left shoulder all the way back so the chest looks up. Another view, I'll do it the other way. So make sure your hands are not by the shoulders. Push down a little bit more so that the center of the chest comes behind the thumbs, and then you can go a little bit deeper into the rotation. If you know other variations, you can take your seats back, left arm comes over the body, join the hands again underneath the legs for a bind, or alternatively, lift the knee up off the ground, coming into an extended version of the pose. Keep pressing through the right heel to keep the legs strong. One more inhale, take the left hip back, extend to the top head. Exhale, roll a little bit more into the pose. And then lower the knee down. Make your way back into the easy warrior 2. Now, join the hands behind the backs. Easy humble warrior. Pull the hands down, lift the chest. And from here, dive down. Pull the seat back a little bit. Move to the right so that the shoulder doesn't get caught on the way down on the knee. And try to bring the forehead to the ground beside the foot. So telescope the chest forward from the base of spine all the way to the top of the head. Long lines. One more breath. Reach forward to the top of the head. Pull the tailbone back and under. And then sink through the heart. Inhale, come up halfway. Release the hands, bring them to the inside of the left foot. Move the left foot out as much as you need to, so the heel, the foot, and the knee stay in the same line. Bend the toes under on the back foot. Start to rock back and forth. Creep slowly, trying to get the hips to come down the whole time. And when the hips are close to the ground, you can lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. If your shoulder is lower than the knee, you can bring the right forearm down and maybe the left forearm. Those who are more flexible can try to get your body flat on the ground so the chest comes down as well. Take the left arm to the outside of the foot if your chest is on the ground, and continue to telescope the chest, the head forward. Now, regardless of what variation you're doing, imagine there's a big weight resting on your seat and it's flattening out the lower body. Bring heaviness in that area, and then eventually this will help to bring heaviness in the chest as well, and it will come down. One more breath, reach out through the top of the head. Exhale again, sink through the seats. Lower body. Come back onto the hands. Now keep the lower body just as it is, don't move it. Keep your seat close to the front heel, Kapiyasana. Raise the arms up, pull the body further by the hips. Exhale, drop the seat, curl the tail under. Rock the shoulders back and forth. And try to get your chest to look up. Make the shape of a crescent moon. Index fingers eventually over the back toe. If you're more advanced, you can try other variations. You can see if you can lift the right foot up, touch the head. Inhale, lift through the chest. Come back down, hands to the ground. Back into table. Lower the seats back on the heels. Breathe in. Breathe out. Start to glide your way forward again into your cobra. Move like a snake, creeping through the grass, and come up mighty and supreme. Imagine no bounds to your flexibility, your range of motion. Over the toes, back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, all fatigue. From here, we're moving into a side plank, Vasisthasana. Keep your hips high. Keep the shape of a downward dog, but you're just moving it sideways. The left hand comes beside the right hand, spin on your toes, and then make your shape. Arc your body away from the ground, chest forward, hips forward. Imagine you're being blown from behind like a kite. If you want, you can raise a right leg up. If you know other variations, go ahead. Some like to plant their toes behind, come into wild thing. Return, keep pushing to the left hand, keep your hips high. Make your way gracefully back into downward facing dog. Take one free breath in. Exhale again. Soften through the heart. Go to the other side. Move the right hand towards the left. Keep your hips high again. Spin your toes to face the long edge of the mat. Come into the pose. Imagine, or not imagine, but just try to keep your shoulders strong. Arm fully extended. And again, if you want, smear your hand into the mat. Slide your left toes around. Plant the base of the toes down. Come into wild thing. Flip your hips and chest up to the sky. Pressing into the right hand, keep your hips high as you make your way back around. Keep the arms strong so it doesn't collapse on you. Downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Move the right foot now between the hands. Again, a light, quiet landing. Hips all the way forward and down. Bring your hands to the back, thumbs meet at the spine, and drag them right down onto the seat. Use the hands to shape the lower body so that the lower back, so there's no wrinkles in the back body. Then present the chest upwards. Take the head back. Try to get your elbows to come towards one another. Now use your fingers to push into the back to come back upright. Come into straighter position. Hips and the shoulders in one line. Open up to the left. Right arm in front. Sukha Virabhadrasana. Again, just think of the qualities of a warrior and tap into that consciousness of power, of courage, of determination. And then from here, we're going to come into Sukha Trikonasana. Right hand down, left arm up. If you did a bind the first time, go ahead. Do the same variation as you did the first time. Now it's easier if you join your hands just beside the seat and not over the seat. So just notice where my hand is, it's beside the seat, and then it makes it a little bit less of a reach and more accessible to come into a bind. For those who want to go Paschimottanasana, bend the toes under, shift your way into the front foot, and then slide the right foot back, left foot back out. Press the body against the leg. Release the bind. Right hand comes down, circle the left hand down, hips and shoulders forward, back knee drops down. Inhale, come up, adjust your front foot so it's again the legs at a right angle. Left arm up into the twist, Parivita Paschimottanasana. You can stay with the easy version with the knee on the ground. Remember again to just try to raise the body up higher than the thighs so you have more room to spin. Roll the right shoulder all the way back. Aim again, the chest looks straight up. Any variations, go ahead. Just try to find a place where you find your comfortable edge. You're doing your best, but not to the point where you're in so much discomfort and pain that all the mind can focus on. It's not what you want to offer up. So one more breath here. Pull the right hip back, extend to the top of the head. Exhale, roll a little bit more. And then at the end of the exhale, lower the left knee down, all the way back into Sukha Virabhadrasana. Join the hands behind the back, pull the hands down, open up through the heart, head back, humble warrior. Pull the hip back a little bit, the right hip. Go to the left so the shoulder doesn't just sit on a knee. It should just slide to the inside of the knee if you can. Forehead coming towards the ground. Now notice how this pose expresses humility. So just think about that. Trying to expect nothing and you receive everything in ways you never imagined. Come up halfway, release the hands, bring them on the inside of the right foot. Once again, prepare for lizard. Slide back and forth, trying to get your seat close to the ground. And then when you're as close as you're going to get, settle down into the pose. Bring the knee down, flatten out the toes. Aim again, your chest right flat on the ground. If you know other variations, go ahead. I'll just show one here. You swing your right arm to the outside and then slip your hand between your body and your leg. Left hand comes over the back and just bind your hands. It's for more advanced practitioners. Now Now from here, we're going to come back onto our hands, lift the body back up, but change nothing about the lower body. Except to bring your seat even further forward, curl the tail under. So when you go into the pose, there should be no compression in the lower back. Reach out the body from the hips, and then imagine a crescent moon shape in your mind, and make the body go to the same vision. Again, if you know other variations, you can try. Keep your seat low, so if you want to bring your foot up, you'll still have steadiness. Break the pose. Bring the hands back down to the ground. Knees back together. It's child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Glide your way forward once again into your cobra. If you want, you can do upward facing dog, or you can come into King Cobra, Raja Bhujangasana. Come onto your fingertips. Try to place them right beside your hips. Now just try to think of length, getting your head to come up as high as you can, as straight over your shoulders as you can. And then bring your feet up, point the toes, maybe your toes will find the head. And then if you can, drop your heels, your palms back down. Don't worry if you can't do it, just try your best in whatever expression of pose you're doing. Back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Vasisthasana once again, left hand comes to the right, spin to the side. Either stay in this pose, if you want to modify, you can drop your shin down on the ground, come down onto the form if that's also an option if you have wrists that are compromised. Or if you want to go fancy, you can again come into Wild Thing. From Wild Thing, you keep your hips high. You might be able to bring the right knee up. And if you're more flexible, you take hold of the foot. Keep your hips high all throughout. Now we're going to return. Look at your left hand, keep your arm fully extended. Keep your hips high to make your transition smoothly back into downward facing dog. Go the other way now. Keep moving according to your condition. Imagine a pose you're trying to do in your mind. And then just allow the breath to carry you there to the furthest point, expression that you can. Just do your best. Don't worry about the results. Make it an offering. Good. And then coming back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower your elbows down onto the ground. Lift the heels, walk your feet towards the elbows. A couple of options here. You can just stay pulsing up and down. Lift up your heels, come right onto your tip of toes if you can. Try to bring, if you're more flexible, you try to bring your thighs against the body. So your shoulders and your hips and your elbows are in one line. Or you can raise one leg up, really flex the foot, bend the toes back. Keep your foot close to the seat. And again, pulse up and down. Just get buoyant here. You may press into the arms and just take a few hops. Eventually you might be able to stay. Okay, so you just keep doing that. And eventually you can just rest in a pose if you're up. Come back down, child's pose for a moment. Breathe in. Remove all fatigue on the exhale. Relax, go limp. Try it again. Try to launch yourself off the other foot this time, or if you want to work, if you're getting close on the other foot and it's easier for you, you can just work on that one. So just again, customize your practice according to what you feel is appropriate for you. Remember, both feet can come down. If that's still too much, you can press your hands together. Dolphins. Bring your body flat like a plank. Okay. down. Slide your seat back onto your heels, coming into child's pose once again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back into downward facing dog. So we're doing a balanced pose from here, Ardha Chandrasana. Come onto your fingertips first and slide your left foot forward halfway to the hands, in between the hands. Then bend your left leg, raise the right leg up, keep the knee bent if you need to, and then start to turn your chest to the side. You can take your right hand to the right hip once you're there, and then you can extend the leg. And eventually you can take the right arm up. Try to get your body nice and flat and extend it like a starfish. Other variations, bend the knee, bend the knee, take hold of the foot, come into a bind. Look over your top shoulder. Pull the knee back. If you've got this variation, press the hips forward like you're doing a bow pose. Then from here, you release the heel, re-extend the leg, and then bend the standing leg so you can land the foot back down. Return to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften completely. Now just take a moment to visualize yourself going through the movements, and then try it out. Maybe the body will obey and do exactly what you saw in your mind. So again, come onto your fingertips, slide your right foot forward, and then bend your knee if it helps as you're raising the leg so you can get up a little bit easier. Left hand comes to the left hip, turn your chest to the side, and then perhaps extend the leg, and then extend the left arm up. Just move as slowly as you need to come into the pose. Let's have to fix my mat a little bit. Good. Then when you're ready, come back down and come into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Right. So from here, we're going to bring the feet to the hands, lower the seat above the line of the knees. Utkatasana. Bring the arms forward, allow your chest and your body to sit on the thighs, but pull your seat back so you can see the whole front of your feet. Try to get your legs, your shins vertical, and then pull your arms up over the head. Look up between the hands, close the eyes, settle into the pose with fierce determination to remain strong and engaged in the pose, but not changing anything in the mind. It stays quiet. If you want more shoulder opening, interlace the fingers, press heels, your palms up, and pull the arms behind the ears. Keep lifting through the chest, keep scooping the tail under. Inhale, press all the way up. Separate your feet if you need to. Inhale, again, lift up, press hips forward, and maybe you can come back a little bit with the arms. Press your hips forward if you're more flexible. Keep your hips forward, press firmly into the feet. Go a little bit further, as far as you feel comfortable. Coming back up. Bring the hands back to the heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften. Just allow the fatigue to drain out of the body. Now release the hands. Coming into a squat now. Separate your feet as much as you need to and do it facing this way so you can see better. And come down. If you need, place something underneath your heels to have your heels pressing to something so you can keep your balance. Bring your hands in front of the heart. Shoulders back. Good. Now from here, Ardha Titibhasana, half firefly. Looks a lot like the bind in your Sukha Trikonasana. So we're just going to move our body in a little bit. Our shoulder comes in, our elbow comes close to the root of the body. Lift your seat just as much as you need to. so that you can get your arm underneath the leg. Most of your arm is behind my leg now. Again, bring your hand onto the back of the seat. Right hand, maybe find it. Use a strap if you need to. And then lift the right side of the seat up. Try to get the legs straight. If you're more flexible, you try to get both legs straight. Head comes towards the ground. Imagine trying to wrap the back of the body around the left leg. Those of you who are more advanced, can try Bird of Paradise. Walk the right foot in towards the left, bend the standing leg, the right leg in this case. You need to push the left arm into the back of the left leg as you come up. You can stay here. Keep pressing into the back of the leg with your arm. Eventually you can take your foot up. And then stand tall and supreme. Come out of the pose, bend the leg, heavy on that right foot, lower down and come back down. Release the bind, come back into the squat. Breathe in, breathe out. Just keep visualizing yourself in these poses without any attachment to the results. Do your best and one day the body will obey. Let's try it on the other side. Slide the right arm in so the elbow is right close to the root. And then lift the seat again, not too much. Just enough to get the almost all the arm underneath the leg. Then it becomes easier to take the binds. Join the hands if the hands find one another and lift the left side of the seat. You can keep the right knee bent if you need to. If this is too much, modify. You just press your forearm against the thigh. Take the left hand to the seat and drag it up. Or alternatively, you just stay down. Lots of different expressions. For those who want to try Bird of Paradise, go ahead. Walk your left foot closer to the right. So you can take your weight into your left foot. Come up. Try not to go too slow. Just use your breath and come up. If you want to extend the leg, push into the arm into the leg and vice versa. And then stand straight and tall. Come out of the pose, bend the right leg back down, settle heavily into your left foot, head forward, seat back, put the foot back down, back into the squat. Breathe in, breathe out. Now just allow the seat to come down onto the ground. From here, we're just going to lie down onto the mat. So just arms extended, legs extended. Take a deep breath in once you arrive. Exhale, imagine you're fainting. Let go of all struggles, all fatigue. Good. Come up to seated position once again. Left arms over the head. And sit up. Well, from here, working towards Baddha Vrasana if you can. Right hand, lean to the right and fold the left knee back. So you should have no discomfort in the knee. If it's screaming at you, then just keep it in front. Okay, just again, modify according to your needs. If you have the leg bent back, make sure you're not sitting on the foot. It should be beside the hip, both sides of the seat down. Now bring the right knee up, bring it right close to the shoulder, lean back a little bit, and take your hands to the foot and keep on pushing the knee into the shoulder. Keep upright. Try not to slouch. Think of a heron with those long lines all throughout the body, the wings, the neck, the beak, and then just try to find a length in your own body through the spine, through the arms, and through the leg. If you're more flexible, take your leg up, straight. Take the shoulders back, and try to get the shin to come towards the forehead. Do it this way. Keep the chest high, back straight. Now from here, bring the foot back, lean back, so that you can bring, when the foot comes down, it comes onto the thigh and close to the hip. If there's no resistance, if your knee is okay, you bring the heel in, hold on to the foot as you bring the right knee down to the ground. So you want to have the foot high on the hip, and you do this by not making sure the knee's not too out to the side. Otherwise, you might want to put a block underneath the knee if it doesn't come all the way down. Or modify by placing the foot on the inseam of the leg. If you want to take a bind, turn to the right, bring the belly to rest on top of the right thigh, and snake your arm around the back. And then the hand will hopefully come, it might come close to the foot. Use your other hand to assist it forward. Maybe take hold of the foot. Now sit back on both sit bones. Left hand to the outside of the knee. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, turn to look over the right shoulder. If you can't take a bind, you just take your hand and just place it right behind the seat, down the center of the back. Push into the lower back. Exhale, turn with each exhale a little bit deeper. So you want to initiate the turn from the base of the spine. Eventually the shoulders will follow their way around. One more breath. Use your arm to push into the back to remind you to stay upright. Then the exhale, come all the way back around. Good. So from here, we're going to lean to the right, take your left leg in front. Now from here, you can just slip your foot down and just place your heel in front of the root. Lift up your seat and just come back down, place it so that the heel is pressing against the perineum. Your legs are about 90 degrees angle, and we're going to do what we call like a mudra pose here, like a seal. So we're just going to bend the knee up a little bit, Maha Mudra I think it's called, and then you just, if you need to, you bend your knee up so you can rest your chest on your thigh. Take your 2 peace fingers, wrap them around the big toe. Now as you inhale, lift the chest, fill your air completely with your lungs completely with air, and then hold the breath, chin into the chest, and really pull hard on the foot, the toe, and really press the heel into the perineum. Concentrate on space between the eyebrows. Just hold your breath as long as you can comfortably, and then exhale, release the pose. So you don't take more than 1 breath while you're down, while you're holding your breath. Once you need to breathe, you come back up. Let's just do this one more time. So take hold of the foot. If you can straighten your leg all the way, then just do that. Inhale. Bring the head back, fill the chest with air, then hold the breath, chin into the chest, concentrate on space between your eyebrows, throat lock, root lock. Chin is right against the chest, tongue to the upper palate. Exhale. Release. Shake out the legs. Good. Now go to the other side. Lean to the left. Fold the right leg back. Starting again by bringing the foot up to the line of the knee. Just pressing the knee against the shoulder. And if you like, Kramchasana, heron pose. Bring the legs straight up. And just try to imagine you're trying to get your chest higher than the knee. Keep the shoulders back and try not to come forward so as to cause the body to slouch. Just bring the leg towards the body as best as you can. Break the pose, bring the heel down, same level to the knee, and then again, work on getting your foot in your lotus, or modify, just bring your foot down. So just always keep on working according to your condition with no judgment. Lean towards the left arm goes around the back. Maybe find your way to bind, or just alternatively you can grab your shirt or hand just behind the seat. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lift through the lower back. Exhale, turn to look over your left shoulder. Each time you inhale, come up a little bit higher. Keep your back nice and straight so you're twisting without compressing the lower back especially. Couple more breaths. Pull your body up higher than the arm if it's behind you. Coming back to face forward, lean to the left. You can take the right leg in front. Now drop your foot down, lift the body up, and then place yourself back down so the heel is pressing right against the root of the body, the perineum. Turn so your chest is directly over the right leg. 2 peace fingers around the big toe. Inhale. Fill the chest with air, then throat lock, root lock. Push the heel into the perineum, chin on the chest, tongue to the upper palate, and concentrate on the third eye. You should be pulling hard on the toe, like until the sweat forms on your upper lip. When you need to breathe out, just breathe out. Begin again. Breathe in, take a free breath in first, exhale, and start again. Round your back, chin into the chest, pull the navel towards the front of the belly button towards the front of the spine. Exhale. Release the toe, come out of the pose. Shasana, king of the postures. If you know your headstand, if you have headstand practice, and go ahead into it now. Work on steadiness, come up slowly and smoothly and under control. If you want some options, if you are uncomfortable leaving the ground with your feet, just rabbit pose will do. You bring your forehead in front of the knees and you lift your seat up, keep holding onto the heels and just come with your top of the head pressing into the ground. Seat is high. If you want to try teddy bear, the hands and the head form a triangle base. Make sure your hands are not beside the head. They should be in front where you can see them, the arms at a right angle. And then step your feet forward. Just press your elbows against just underneath the knees. And as you press into your hands, you can raise one foot up. If that feels comfortable, maybe you bring the other foot up. You're pretty close to the ground, so it's not far that you can go. Once you're in the pose, if you're comfortable, close your eyes and concentrate on the space between the eyebrows. Find stillness. Leave the body alone, and then the mind has more of an opportunity to come into a still and quiet place. Slowly start to make your way down with control. And once you're down, come into child's pose. Now from here, we're going to roll our way up. So we're going to try another variation of headstand. This is optional, okay? So everything's an option. If you don't feel comfortable, then best to just wait until you feel comfortable with it, or do some kind of modification. So I'll just demonstrate another one that might be a little bit easier for some people to get into headstands. Again, you start the same way as tripod headstand, but your fingers are facing away from you. Lift up the seat, walk them further apart and further back so that the arms are more than a 90-degree angle. And then from here, so you start more on the hairline. You push into the fingertips. You never go past the top of the head. Okay, so you stay more on the hairline or towards the forehead. Bend the the knees so that it feels close to the seat. And just again, you just pulse up and down just as we did before in one of the other poses, the forearm balance. If you want, press into the fingertips and see if you can just float, just hot potato. So just lift up. Eventually you go a little bit further. You have to push through the left foot to keep the balance, to eventually find your way into the pose steadily. Do not jump. Take it nice and slow. If you go too fast, you're going to land on your back. Okay, so give that a try if you're not already. If you're more proficient, you can just gradually release one finger at a time until you're just on the fingertips of one hand or both hands. Just picture yourself, visualize yourself in the pose. Keep practicing. One day, your body might again obey. Now, come back down. Relax in child's pose. Then roll your way up, find your way onto your back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, imagine you're fainting. Remove all fatigue. So you're just imagining through these rest points that you're recharging the body. Imagine as you inhale, you're bringing the energy into the body. As you exhale, you diffuse it all the way throughout. Arms beside the body, palms down, legs together. Raise the legs up 9 degrees, and then push into the arms. Start to lift your seat up off the mat. Come up a little bit higher each time. Do this about 4 times. By the 4th time, you should be pretty much just on your shoulders, most of the back off the mat. Come down slowly. Do not drop your seat heavily on the ground. Big hard landing, just softly. And after that, if that was easy, okay for you, you lift your seat up as much as you can so you can bring your hands to the back and just see if you can walk your elbows closer. Just kind of move on one shoulder at a time. Try to get your legs in a straight line so your toes are over the chin. Shalvangasana. If this is too much, you can just come down a little bit lower. Your legs can be a little bit over your feet can be over the head. And if this is still too much, you can just bring your hands underneath the seat and sit on the hands with your legs straight up. Those of you who are in shoulder stand, if you want, you can come into lotus as well. So make sure you're really high in your shoulders. Feet a little bit over the head so that if you need your hands, it's a little bit easier to release your hands. If you have a lotus, try to get your knees to come higher than the hips. Now again, still the mind. Focus on the space between the eyebrows. Watch the darkness behind the forehead. Keep your head straight. Do not turn your head. From here, if you're in shoulder stand, halasana. Bring your feet over the head. Keep pushing into the back. Your seat should be over the shoulders. Keep your legs extended. If you want, you can drop your thighs against the chest and knees on either side of the head. This will allow you to go a little bit further deeper into the pose. And just remove yourself from all the distractions as well. Coming out of the pose, listen carefully. We're going to go right into Navasana, boat pose. Press your hands down onto the ground behind the back. Slowly lower. Keep your legs close to the body as you come down. Roll down, feeling the vertebra pass down one at a time. And when your seat comes down, push into your arms and lift up. Try not to touch your feet to the ground in between. Bring your arms out or hold on to the knees. Bend your knees also is an option. Look over the line of the toes. Bhastrika breath. Breathe very fast like you're panting through the nose. Bring the feet down, hands behind the back. From here, we're going to lift up through the chest. Bring the head back. Good. And then just draw your chin into the chest, lower down onto the elbows here. Bring the elbows as close by as possible. Squeeze the wrists against the rib basket, and then bring the head down. Fish pose. From here, you can either extend your legs straight out. If you can, you keep your legs in the air with your legs straight. So your legs are about 12 inches off the ground. And again, Bhastrika. Keep the chest high, keep going with the breath. Lower the legs down if they were up. Dig into the elbows. You can take the head up off the mat and relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften everything. Again, breathe in deeply through the skin. Exhale, send all the fatigue out. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Slide your feet in close to the seat. Try to keep the feet, edges of your feet in line with the hips. And then from here, you bring your fingertips on either side of the head. Point the fingers out a little bit towards the edges of the mat, not so much, but just in between. And then lift up the seat, push into the fingertips, and drag your head back so that you can land on the top of the head. Then turn your hands around so the fingers again are facing towards the feet, but again a little bit turned outwards. You can stay here if you like, the whole time. Or press into the hands, lift the head up off the mat. And then from here, lift off your heels and play a little bit. Do any variations you like, or just stay steady in the pose. If you need a modification, bridge pose. Bring your arms underneath the bodies and then lift up your chest. Walk your shoulders again underneath so that the arms are underneath the body, and just try to press your chest towards the chin. Curl the tail under. This is the modification bridge pose. Good. If you're in wheel pose, be firm and strong in the pose. If you're more flexible, try to get your hands closer to the feet. Also try to straighten your legs and your arms as much as possible. Lower down. Relax, breathe in, breathe out. Good. So from here, we're just going to roll onto our bellies and do Dhanurasana. Since the back has already been warmed up, take hold of the heels, the ankles, I should say. Push the ankles into the hands and vice versa. Lift the chest up off the ground. Keep your thighs on the ground and make it so you're pulling yourself so the feet are trying to get to the ground behind you. You can stay here if you like, or you can start to pull on the legs, the ankles, so the legs come up. Now keep pulling up so the legs straighten. Look up, eventually you might be able to see your toes. Try to stay in the pose a little bit longer to again tap into the divine consciousness, practice steadiness and steadfast focus. Bring heels towards the seat, come out of the pose. Allow the legs come down, again no big heavy thuds as you land your feet. Relax, breathe in, breathe out. Relax all the muscles. Push into the hands. Come up into a kneeling pose. Then take your legs out in front. Starting off with diamond pose. So take your feet, soles of your feet together. So wider base here, not too close to the body. The legs are more than a 90-degree angle. So just walk your seat back a little bit. Interlace, Kali Mudra, interlace your fingers and press the index fingers together, thumbs together. Inhale, reach forward as much as you can. And then just slip your hands so they cup the toes. Just allow the upper arms to just rest and press against the shins. Drop the knees towards the ground. From here, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bring the head down. Maybe your forehead will rest on your feet. Maybe your forehead will rest on the ground in front of the heels. If you can't make the connection of your head somewhere on the feet or ground, don't worry about it. Just create fullness and length in the back as you inhale. From the base of spine, breathe all the way up to the top of the head. Exhale, imagine the shoulder blades falling away from one another. Imagine you're trying to push the belly button right through the lower back as well to create nice fullness in the lower back area. Inhale, come up part way. Move your feet apart now. So your soles of your feet are facing forward and just slide your arms underneath the legs. Take hold of the edges of the feet. And from here again, you can just bring your forehead down to the ground just between the feet. If this is very easy for you, you can go into Karmasana. So bring your knees up towards the ceiling a little bit. Keep your heels not too much more than shoulder width apart. And then just slide your arms back right beside the hips, hands facing back. And just use the weight of the body, of the legs to come onto the arms. The knees should be close to the shoulders, not too close to the elbows. And then if you can, you rest your chin on the ground or your forehead. Keep your attention on the base of the spine and whatever variation you're doing. Practice one-pointed concentration. Inhale, come back up. Slide your arms out from underneath. Purvottanasana. So you can have your fingers facing in if your wrists are strong, or if it's too much, your fingers face back. Bend your knees a little bit, pull the heels in. Inhale, lift up the seat, and then roll the thighs inwards so you can press the toes down. Try to get your chest higher than the shoulders. If this is too much, bench pose. Bring your heels closer to the seat. Lift up so that your knees and your shoulders are on the same line, same with the hips. Don't let them sag. Bhastrika breath again. Keep your chest high, keep going. Lower the seat. Pull the knees in towards the body. Breathe in. Just suspend the breath for a moment. Tense up everything. Imagine all the muscles of the face going towards the tip of the nose. Squeeze the root muscles. Squeeze the chin against the chest. Make yourself as small and tight as possible. And then exhale. Relax everything. Soften. Shoulders drop. Everything just droops. Bring your feet out a little bit. Adho Matsyendrasana. So fold the left knee in, the left foot in, I should say, the knees in front of the body, and the right leg goes over the other side of the leg. Or alternatively, if your seat doesn't come down flat on both sides, extend the left leg Slide your right foot out a little bit further so that the toes are closer to the ankle. Right hand behind the back, just down the center of the seat, behind the center of the seat, left arm up, and then press the forearm against the right thigh. Inhale, lift through the chest, push the lower back in. Exhale, pull the knee way beyond the left edge of the body. Turn to the right, shoulders flush with the long edge of the mat. Maybe eventually shoulders facing the back end of the mat. Keep your back tall. Make sure your arm is not far away from the back. Keep it right close to the seat so the body stays upright. Left leg stays charged if it's extended. Other variations, go ahead. Take a bind if you know that variation. Slip your left arm underneath the leg. Join the hands behind the back. Now release in the exhale. Change the legs around. The right knee comes from the by, the right foot beside the left hip, and the left leg over across the other side. Adho Matsyendrasana, or the modification with the right leg extended. The right arm comes up, and then same thing on the other side. Left arm right against the back. And stay tall as you twist. You take a bind, you slip your arm in between, in the space underneath the left knee. Left hand comes behind, and you take hold of fingers in a lock, or the right hand holds the left wrist. Lift through the chest, exhale, turn to the left. Slowly release the pose. Come down onto your back for Shavasana. Ease your way down. Take hold of the edges of the mat if you need to. Just make the descent mindful and soft. Once you arrive, just allow the feet to fall outwards, the palms facing up beyond the edges of the mat. And then just allow the whole body to just relax. Imagine a deserted beach. Watch the waves rolling onto the sand, and as the tide goes out, the waves roll out. It makes the sand underneath the surface really smooth and free of debris. So in the same way, as you inhale, feel a rush of heaviness, that wave coming into the body. And as you exhale, just pull out feel that wave carrying away all the tension, all the resistance. Not only the physical resistance, but the mental resistance as well. Accept now all the gifts of the practice into the body, into your being. Imagine you're soaking up all the energy, the prana that we put into this space. You know you're in your own space. Just imagine you're taking it from all those who practice with us today. The best of the best. Accept it with gratitude and send out your own love to all beings as a token of your own gratitude. from Shavasana. Start to bring awareness back to the breath. Reconnecting with the body bit by bit, feeling it wake up gradually. The fingers, the toes, limbs, arms, the face, the vital organs that animate the body. And then with the utmost gentleness and reverence and quietness, prepare to come back to a seated position. Do so in a way that allows you to preserve the serenity that you created through the practice. Once you're seated, sit up nice and tall. Shoulders back, spine straight. So we're going to do a little bit of positive breathing. So we're just breathing through the right side, which is connected to Pingala Nadi, which is associated with that bright, vibrant energy. And so you just want to just try to focus on just trying to bring positive thoughts in your mind. This is very good to do when you're stressed out or when you're anxious or have fear or anger or just negativity in general. Left hand in either Chin Mudra or Jnana Mudra, and the right hand with the second and third fingers pulled down. This is Vishnu Mudra. The right thumb controls the passage through the right nostril, the right ring finger through the left nostril. So in this one, we're holding the left nostril closed the whole time. So the ring finger stays pressed against the left side of the nose. So let's just start by taking a deep breath in. Exhale out, completely empty the lungs. Then close off the left side. Inhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Press the thumb against the right nostril. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release the right thumb. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through the right. Hold the breath, both sides of the nose closed. Exhale through the right again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through the right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just hold the breath, both sides of the nose closed. Exhale through the right. Inhale again. Right side. Suspend the breath, both sides of the nose closed. Exhale through the right. Keep going on your own. Keep a steady rhythm. 8, 6, 8. 8 on the inhale. 6 on the hold. Exhale on the, with 8 counts. Three more times. Bring the right hand down on the right knee. So the mudra is the same as the left hand, either Chin or Jnana Mudra. Sitting tall and straight. Just focus on the center of the chest, the spiritual heart in which resides the highest self. That spark, that divine spark that resides within each and every one of us. It's a portion of God that resides within that has no shape or form. So that divine spark may be as infinitely large as you can imagine. Before it reaches out and it lives in every being. Just feel a part of that great divine essence that connects us all. Take a deep breath in, gather up all the love within you. Imagine an infinite amount of love contained within. Exhale, send it out to all beings, not only just those, your loved ones, but everyone beyond. Especially those who are in pain and suffering. Especially those who challenge you, for those are those individuals who challenge you the most and from which you can grow the most from, through exercising boundless compassion and unconditional love towards them as well. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the divine grace within. This concludes our practice. Namaste. Thank you so very much. So thank you for joining. We'll be back here next Saturday, again at the same time. So I'd love if you joined. Right now, actually, there is a free psychic development class given by Sri Dharma Mitra. So the link is actually on my page. I posted it right before I went live. So if you take a look, you might be able to find it. Hopefully, it's on Vimeo. And yeah, it's a great, powerful spiritual technique that you can learn about. That's right now. So thank you so much. This video will also be available after. I'll share the link for those who happen to miss it. You can watch it anytime after that, after today. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for your beautiful comments. Yeah. And I'll see you soon.